Sure. Just a minute, I'll do the recording part. Yes, it's recording and I'll share the recording. I have given you the clarity to your query. All right. Thank you, Gauravji. Okay, so just before we begin today's session, I want to set the context with regards to where we will be flowing. And it's a continuation of yesterday's session. And we'll be building one of the factors we will be building a bit more deeper and from something which is generally not discussed, or people are not aware that things can be discussed in such a way. So this was our yesterday's discussion कि हमने चर्चा की थी कि हम कोर स्किल को इन 4 फैक्टर्स से आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे, और कोर स्किल का मतलब है स्किल जो हमारे कोर से आती है, दैट इज विच इज कमिंग फ्रॉम आवर पर्सनालिटी. And these are the 4 factors which are to be discussed, and like for tomorrow we will be discussing about societal need and in particular what kind of opportunities are coming in future in the society in terms of career. And today our discussion will go on the flow of personality alignment, and why it is important to have a personality alignment. And there are many models which are there जो personality को assess करने में मदद करते हैं. काफी सारे psychometric assessments हैं. All these psychometric assessments are based on artificial intelligence, so they definitely help to certain degree, but they are not like Ved Vakya. We cannot say that whatever the psychometric assessment is bringing out is what we should be going ahead. There are many cases where individuals they ended up doing something different what came out from their personality assessment based on psychometric assessments. Nonetheless, all these personality analysis softwares which are artificial intelligence based, there are some very good models, psychological based, and multiple models are there. You might have heard about DISC, MBTI, NARIS, and many more models are there. But in today's discussion, in order to understand about personality, we will be using a particular model which is not present in terms of modern psychology, but it is coming from ancient wisdom. It is something which is based on the our Vedas, which we are say as the source of knowledge. And as I had shared in the group, there are 6 factors I explained in 6 of the Sanskrit words about those aspects about how to assess a personality. And because of the Sanskrit word are being used because they're the equivalent of those Sanskrit words in English are not so good or cannot convey the complete meaning what is there in the Sanskrit. So this is regarding how we are following up from yesterday's, and now we'll go into that particular. All right, here we are. So in case if we'll try to take questions towards the end, and in between if because of some disturbance my voice gets lost or there is some issue, you can just let me know on the chat window. I've kept it open side yesterday, I was not able to. All right, so 6 principle of richness and prosperity, and it starts with a particular concept that from in all social cultures all across the world, in all social cultures generally the tendency is that based on the trends, based on whatever comes as a trend in terms of career, this is general, people are pushed inside those trends. Like there was a trend for software, there was a trend for now there is a trend for digital marketing. So everywhere there is so much hype about digital marketing, and naturally people get pushed based on those trends. And once we get inside a particular education, whatever field we get into, we can definitely, if we are like, if you are sincere, it is definitely possible to start earning. That is like, it is easy to make cash. I won't say easy, but it is possible to start making cash irrespective of whatever field we are into. But cash cannot be considered as equivalent of richness and prosperity. I'll repeat, cash alone cannot be considered as equivalent of richness and prosperity. Yes, and that is what is the concept, that when cash and the work is also aligned with our personality, that is when the equivalence of cash equal to prosperity and richness, it starts. There are many more factors, like the work has to be honest, there has to be some charity, work has to be meaningful. There are actually 8 factors, but everything starts when we can say that when we are receiving cash, and at the same time we can say that we have a prosperous and rich life. It happens when the personality aspect is also taken care of. And through this whole training program or coaching program which I have, and the based on which what we are sharing since yesterday and today, I just want to communicate that every individual with their unique qualities, with their uniqueness, unique talent, all of them can have personality based careers. There is no necessity to just depend that based on whatever is the trend, we go with that career and then only we will receive cash. On today's date, there are multiple careers which are based on multiple personalities, and all can give cash as a source of earning. So our personality and source of earning has to be aligned for our life to be prosperous and rich. Cash alone is not the criteria. How many of you will agree with me? Type in the comment box that many times, whenever, I'll say not just many times, but whenever, every day when we see newspaper, we can read about people who had lot of money, but they are not content or satisfied with their life. Please write in the comment box. I would like to see whether we are in the same, like we are on the same platform when we are discussing this. How many of you agree with this? Yes. So we read in the newspaper. Thank you, Akshay. Thank you, Dr. Mohan. Lava, I think this is the mobile name. It's not just the person's name, hopefully. Akshay, Chaitanya is saying, somebody, yes, sir. So please, yesterday, as I communicated that we are not discarding degrees. Similarly, I'm not trying to communicate that just do work based on your personality, need not consider cash at all. No, but I'm synchronizing or synthesizing this whole concept of having a personality based cash generating career. And that is what is, I want to break that myth. And tomorrow I'll share with you many of the future opportunities which are belonging to different personalities and which exist, but it is not so much propagated during our education times, whether we talk about school or colleges. And only after coming in the real world, people realize. So there is no synchronization with the real world and the education system. Hopefully with the COVID disruption, that should happen. So thank you, everyone. So let's, and similarly, there are cases of people who are limited in cash, who have a limit of a cash, but they are having very prosperous and rich life. And those news also we come across on day-to-day basis. So directly, we cannot equivalently say that cash and richness and prosperity are equivalent. To begin with, our personality alignment is very important. And what are the 6 ancient ways which we are going to discuss, which I had already shared in the group, are these 6 ways. Aishwarya, Gyan, Virya, Shri, Yasha, and Vairagya. Loosely, certain kind of English words could have been used with these, but I have avoided to directly communicate what is the essence and keep the value of, like, keep the quality of the word as it is in pure Sanskrit. But when when I'll discuss about all these things individually, then the overall picture will communicate that you will be able to relate. And this is, I have learned from one of my mentor. I have not found it reading Vedas myself. So I would like to express it genuinely and frankly. I have, like, because of my field, I have many mentors from whom I learn, who are helping different individuals. They're very seniors in the ages of 40, 50, 60s, some are in 70s. And through them, I have got this particular concept. And so I request you that there is a lot of information, or I would say a lot of knowledge, Gyan is there. So please bear with me. And when you will be going through this journey of understanding what is Aishwarya, what is Gyan, what is Virya, what is Shri, what is Yash, what is Vairagya, you will also be going through a journey trying to visualize or like come in touch with your feelings. आप अपनी भावनाओं के संपर्क में आएंगे कि okay, क्या ये वाली चीज मुझसे मैच करती है क्या? सो मैं इसको पहले से ही आपको कम्युनिकेट कर दे रहा हूं ताकि आप इस जर्नी को अपने साथ ऑब्जर्व करते हुए ही आगे बढ़ें. दैट इज ऑल्सो द गोल, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली वी वांट टू फाइंड आउट these are different factors based on which different careers are existing in the world. बट इसमें से कुछ फैक्टर्स होते हैं, सभी के लिए सारे फैक्टर्स इंपॉर्टेंट होंगे. आई वॉन्ट टू से सभी के लिए सारे फैक्टर्स इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं, बट कुछ लोगों के लिए कुछ पर्टिकुलर फैक्टर्स बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं. इट इज समथिंग कि उसके बिना वो रह ही नहीं सकते, या फिर आप उनको उन चीजों से दूर कर देंगे तो वो कहीं ना कहीं उस नेचर को रेडिएट करेंगे. दिस इज like the natural aspect of any individual, and which particular one is of strong connect with an individual, that you will be able to find out once we start this journey, right? So shall we start with Aishwarya? Is it cool? Type in the comment box excited if you are excited to learn ahead. All right, Chaitanya Ruben is started, he's cool. Kanishka is excited. Kanishka, congratulations, you have missed your CLED class and you have come to this session, and I am happy that you are joining from the beginning. Shantanu sir. All right. So we have 18 participants. Some more can express. All right. So we'll start with Aishwarya. And there is a lot of information. Just let me explain and all right, okay, we'll start. So we'll start with Aishwarya, and these are all the information regarding Aishwarya. So just wait, please do not read. I'll go through one by one because I also want to communicate an important concept with regards to them. So Aishwarya it is important for those people who want to have power. So whenever we hear about power, generally it comes in a negative frame of mind ki this person. Is my screen okay? Sorry. Screen is not visible. Just a minute. All right. I assume that it is visible now. Is it visible now? The screen? Yes. Yes, fine. So people, those who like to have power. So generally when we talk about power, it gives a negative connotation that, okay, this person wants to be in power. But that doesn't mean that power means it has to be negative. Many people with power can utilize it positively. So power in positive sense is a trait of people who have this Aishwarya at their core of personality. Leadership, organizational, directing many people. These are the people who have these tendencies of being a leader as a leadership in an organizational. So for example, like one of the example which my mentor shared is she was once giving a class somewhere, and there was huge number of people who are coming for the class, and gradually everyone was supposed to move ahead because the people who were coming in back were standing. So one of the lady, she stood there and she just ended up shouting loudly, everyone move ahead, in between the class. And the speaker, who is my mentor, she had to stop speaking. So this happened in the middle of the session, and immediately after, like my mentor asked her, after she was done with her everyone move ahead, she asked her if she is like, can she start again? And then she asked her whether you are having some kind of management or leadership role here. And then the lady replied, no, I am not having. So she said, you need to get one, right? So this particular natural tendency belongs to people for whom Aishwarya weighs a lot, that they naturally have that leadership and directing people and making things do. And please, this is not negative. We need such kind of leadership. We need such genuine leaders, because otherwise how will people be made to do things which they are supposed to do? So when some policy has to be implemented, a good policy has to be implemented, then there has to be somebody who naturally cherish such role of leadership where they have to organize people. Then these are the people, they thrive, and it's good we need such leaders in society. This is the thing. These people feel energized by doing all these things. If you ask me, if you consider me, for me it is like the Aishwarya part in this context is towards very negligible. I do not like to organize or take leadership role in this sense of making people do what they are supposed to do. So there is no problem with my personality, and there is no problem with personality of the people who naturally have this tendency and who are utilizing it for the right purpose. So as we are discussing this, just try to identify if this resonates with you, and in that way you can be clear in terms of your current career and whatever kind of upskilling or jump you want to make in future, or you want to make an alternate career connected with cash flow, right? So, or you want that which is aligned with your personality. This is an important aspect. So you can just experience your emotions based on the concept which we are discussing, that the emotions will come naturally. I'll express how. Then Aishwarya, luxury in general, richness, cash. So these are the people who love to have luxury. And when we talk about directly a cash collection, or in terms of cash, who evaluate in terms of cash, so they are the people who are much more, who are having Aishwarya at their core. Then sense of controllership. If such people do not, it is very important. It's naturally for them to have a sense of controllership. And if they are not given proper direction, where their controllership can help organizing the society or a community, whatever they are part of, then they will definitely be using that controllership in negative way, maybe in some personal relationship, or maybe in office. So if you have identified somebody in office who are having this kind of controllership, but they are not naturally awakening the feelings of kind of happiness of their subordinates, then they are misusing this particular tendency of theirs, which is very strong. Autonomy and self-control, own projects, not necessarily a team. Now in another context about Aishwarya is like these people at one level, they want to organize many people in a leadership role, but they also are like, they don't want anybody to control them. They want to have autonomy. They want to have self-control. They can have their own projects. They may not need a team for that. So this is another aspect of the people who are radiating such qualities. So make a note of it if you are having a diary and pen, that if you are resonating with any particular of these concepts. Others and themselves. This is others and themselves. So they also want to help others to do the same. They want to help other people who have such leadership role to have such leadership role in the society. And engaging others in meaningful work, same thing, the example I have shared, other sense of leadership, power and control. So overall, organizational leadership, sense of autonomy, sense of self-control, their own projects, and they are needed in society. They want power, they want controllership. These are the qualities which will be radiated by people who are having Aishwarya at the core of their personality. So is there somebody who is recognizing with Aishwarya as the core of their personality? Let me know. It requires a little bit of contemplation and thoughtfulness, and we need to do some exercise, but just by first, just if somebody is experiencing this. Sorry. Okay, Ruben. Fine. Yes, for me, it's somewhere integral. Yeah, Gaurav, yes, it is right. For you, it is. And Gaurav is my brother, and he's a brother from another mother. So I'm very much in sense of that. Akshay, maybe not. Okay, somebody maybe not. Right. So we'll come to next part where you can also find your thing. So next we move to Gyan. Now about Gyan, these are the concepts with regards to Gyan. These are the people who are crazy about knowledge. They are like to play with the knowledge. They like to play with the wisdom. They are mostly involved in intellectual affairs, going deep into, all right, again, screen share, new share. All right, is visible, right? Yes, now? Yes. So Gyan is the second aspect which is mentioned in the ancient wisdom about the people who like to play with knowledge and who like to be, who philosophize many things, who are involved in science. So many people may not be specifically curious. So those people who are not having knowledge at the core, see, nobody is greater or higher. I just want to communicate this, that nobody is greater or higher. These are all individual natures. So if you see somebody who is having this organizational and leadership quality, it is that person's nature. And if you are not resonating with it, it is completely natural and normal for you also and that person also. We do not have to fight with each other. Yeah, Shantanu sir is saying me, and I'm also from the same category. So we are very curious about, I am very curious about the people who are having gyan at their core are very curious about the things. Why this thing is like this, how this thing is working. So in any kind of science also, if the people have these tendencies, then they are belonging to, they have gyan at the core of their personality. And they are also interested about the process of learning and understanding. Throughout the day, when they are spending their time at different aspects, they must be learning some concept through the interactions which are happening in their life. Everyone may not be so much, like suppose if an incident happens with you, then you will try to figure out what can I learn from this, and what can I derive understanding from this. And somebody may be just, okay, some incident has happened, let's move ahead, not necessary to contemplate or ponder much more on that particular happening. So both people are acting naturally, but those who are having gyan at their core, they are more into understanding and learning. Then there is they're always learning, curious, essence, more and more essence of one thing, or studying very broad level. These are two different aspects of the people who have gyan at their core. They may just go to a very specific detail of a particular object in deep. For example, they may just observe what is very life for some. I'll just come, Kanishka. These people are, let's suppose the scientists, those who go very deep, that how this particular virus is functioning. Just that particular virus, they can spend hours of studies in just that particular virus and its changing molecular formula and different strain. That is what is happening right now when we are talking about vaccine. The difficulty they are having in vaccine is because virus is not a living entity. Virus is a molecule, and it is adapting based on different bodies it is going through, the COVID virus. And so it produces different strains, and that is why it is difficult for people to make vaccine for it. So those scientists will go, एक ग्रास हॉपर, एक टिड्डा कैसे जंप कर रहा है, उसी के डिटेल में वो पूरी लाइफ लगा सकते हैं. और आपको लग सकता है कि क्या है ये, मतलब ये कोई जानने की चीज है क्या, but they have this at their core, that they are very infatuated by all these kind of details. And they can also go at very broad level, like trying to understand the cosmos. All those people who are having this astronaut and that kind of mindset, space and all, so they are very eager about finding more and more knowledge, more and more depth about the whole cosmos as a whole. So this is a broader aspect, and one is a narrow aspect. But the principle is coming is about the gyan or the knowledge aspect, that they can be diverted in any of this direction. And very life for some, it means, Kanishka, that वो उनका जीवन है. आप उसको उस पर्सन से अलग नहीं कर सकते. जैसे आप, I'll give example in my context. When I have interaction with people, I always try to find out at what level I can help that person, whether I can help or not. So I always try to figure out more and more knowledge, listening from authorities or people who have more experience, that for this sect, this particular sect of people or this particular person, what is the best way to guide. So this is one example, because I resonated with this particular field as my core. So this is about, second aspect is about gyan. So another symptom how you can understand a particular person has this as their core is, throughout the day, पूरे दिन वो लगभग 4 से 5 घंटे आपको कहीं ना कहीं पर बुक्स पढ़ते हुए मिलेंगे. और वो पढ़ने के बाद रात को जब वो सोने जाएंगे तो उनको लगेगा आज मैंने कुछ रीडिंग नहीं की. Yes. So if you feel like this, if you are like really you read a lot of book, and while going to bed at night, if you feel कि आज कुछ ज़्यादा reading नहीं करी, then gyan is your core. And does being with gyan is making you limited, narrow-minded to specific thought? It's not about being with gyan making you limited. It's not about limitation. Every individual, people have Ashwara also. Everyone wants to have some controllership, some leadership. Everyone wants to have some richness, luxury. Everybody needs, but it is not their core. That is what we are trying to, that is what I'm trying to communicate, that every individual have all these qualities which we have discussed, which we have brought about. ऐश्वर्या, ज्ञान, श्री, ये सभी चीजें सभी लोगों के लिए होती हैं important, बट कुछ लोगों के लिए कुछ पर्टिकुलर एस्पेक्ट इंपॉर्टेंट काफी डीप में होते हैं, जो कि उनकी ऑलमोस्ट लाइफ के जैसे होते हैं. सो इफ, like if you consider me, if I may not have leadership and organization का वो मुझे controllership का opportunity नहीं है मेरे पास, या मेरे पास वो facility नहीं है, it doesn't matter to me that much. But यदि आप मेरे से knowledge वाली चीज में रहने के लिए यदि आप मुझे उससे दूर कर देंगे, then it will become very difficult for me. That is what I, so somebody who has that leadership kind of role, like Gaurav yourself, you have the leadership, that kind of mentality. Then if somebody removes you and just put you in some other bracket, then it will be unnatural for you. So it doesn't limit us. It is like it diversify. The whole universe is diversified based on different individuals who are doing, like, I'm sorry, I'll just come एक sentence में मैं आपको answer कर दूंगा. हमारे बॉडी में जैसे डिफरेंट सेल्स होते हैं, कोई ब्रेन का सेल है, कोई हार्ट का सेल है, कोई लंग का सेल है, ये हमने कल डिस्कस किया था. दे आर कंट्रीब्यूटिंग इन द फंक्शनिंग ऑफ लंग, ब्रेन एंड हार्ट. सो दैट इज व्हाट इज देयर रोल. नाउ इफ somebody is functioning as a lung and not as a brain, we cannot say they are limited. That is how we are in the universal body, that we are radiating a particular specific quality. So it doesn't mean we are limited. We are just diversifying, or we are bringing about a beauty, kind of a particular aspect of all these qualities. Yeah, oxygen of air for a personality. So this was about levels of knowledge and symptom. Some questions are coming. I'm trying to discuss that question in between, although I said I'll discuss at end, because all these things require some kind of discussion. By Gyan, we mean only theory or practical knowledge also. Practical knowledge is Vigyan. We are not talking about that Gyan and Vigyan. Practical knowledge, theoretical knowledge, everything comes in the Gyan concept. You are saying Vigyan is realized knowledge. So knowledge, many people talk about knowledge in terms of information. And when we apply that information in real circumstances, then it becomes wisdom. So that is true. But in this context of discussion, overall Gyan and Vigyan both are part of Gyan. Here we are discussing. But people who have the tendency to be associated with knowledge, they have curiosity, they have intellectual mindset, and intellectual in terms of learning. Those who are in business, they have their intelligence in that way. So please do not take intelligence word separately. These people are intelligent people, rest are not. Everyone is intelligent, but in their field of core. In their core, they are intelligent. Those who have the leadership thing we discussed, their intelligence function in that way. That's why they are able to organize so many of the people, which the people who are associated with Gyan cannot do. All right, so let's move on to anybody here else recognizing with Gyan as their core? Who has curiosity? Kanishka, and should I call your name? I'm not able to. Dr. Akula, or what exactly? Anyways, fine. So we have few people. So don't you think that Gyan be essential to develop on any core? Yes, it is essential, but you will identify in the society that not everyone is going into the depth. So if somebody needs information about particular thing, they can approach the people who are going to the core. For example, right now, not everybody needs to get into every aspect of career coaching. We have career coaches like me who can give the information which is required. So those people who want, everybody wants to grow in their career, but everybody doesn't want to go so deep and try to sit down and figure out everything on their own, right? So you don't think Gyan be essential? It is essential, but the people who are naturally having that, others approach those people to do it for them. That is how, if I want to conduct a session, suppose, then I'll find out a person who is having more leadership and organizational, like you manage your things. Similarly, I'll find out somebody like that who will do it for me. That's how society becomes. Yeah, Gyani don't outsource Gyam. That's how society is complete. Okay, Gaurav, I'll discuss with you what you want to discuss towards the end, because we have 4 more things. After that, we'll have discussion. I hope it is okay. Even if it is not, I am going ahead. So we will discuss it again. Okay, Virya. Thank you. Thank you. Right. So Virya has these. I'll just resume sharing, new sharing. Yes, it's visible now, right? I'm taking care of that. So anything with regards to strength, power, and health, that comes with Virya. The masculinity that also is associated with Virya. So everybody wants good health, right? But for some people, not what makes their life rich. Okay, actually, there were so many concepts that I just wrote everything in principle so that I can share the details. So when we talk about Virya and in context of strength, power, and health, then everybody wants good health. But for many people, the health aspect becomes their core. Some people, there are many people who are into reading books, like we talked about people who are gyan. You will find them sit at home and read continuously, even if they are not going outside to exercise, to move little bit, do some exercise. It doesn't matter to them that much. Everyone cares about health. Nowadays, if we talk practically, people do not actually care about their health. It only happens once some kind of crisis comes. That's why so many hospitals are increasing, because they are about to, why we need so many hospitals? Because you're already sick and now you need a treatment. If people would have been living healthy lives, then we would have been naturally healthy, apart from some emergency where surgeries are required. In general, the more and more medicines are coming and required because health is going more and more bad. So people in general have become very casual about their health. But the point is, for people for whom Virya is important at their core, they are associated with such kind of fields like we are discussing here, um, where it is mentioned. Yeah, towards the end, I've given the example. People who are like sports, dance, warfare, where a lot of physical strength is involved and endurance is involved, and they have career in health. They are involved with herbs and yoga and Ayurveda. These are some of the examples I've shared. A chiropractor, a cancer surgeon. These are all people for whom Virya is important. In case if they have decided their career based on their personality and not just cash, that this point I want to bring across. So somebody may be a cancer surgeon, but just with cash, if they have decided about their career, then Virya may not be important for them. But for people who have aligned their cash generation with their personality, and if Virya is the core of their personality, then they will be in the field of Ayurveda and yoga. Like I know Shantanu sir is here, his brother is there, Mr. Shardul Pathak. So I have been interacting with him for last 2-3 years, and he is a person for whom Virya is important at the core of his personality. He is an Ayurvedacharya, and he is just naturally into Ayurveda. His everything about him will be Ayurvedic. His post will be Ayurvedic. His discussion will be surrounded with Ayurvedic. Similarly, the people who are associated with yoga, they will be radiating these qualities. So those who are in sports, many people who are in sports, cricket, football, any other kind of sports, and the people who where physical strength is required, like boxing or any kind of other like weightlifting, people who participate in weightlifting. So these are the people for whom Virya as their core is there. So people having Virya at their core have careers in health or related to sports and dance and warfare. The people who go to the borders for fighting. Many people who are in police, if they have come into the police, this war, when we are talking about warfare, means anybody who is in army or this kind of responsibility. So they also will have this particular tendency, who have genuinely come into the field with their interest. So this is all about Veer. Last is about martial arts. I've just given some examples. There can be many examples, and this discussion can be a 1 month or 2 month or 3 month discussion. If we try to identify all the careers and figure it out in all these 6, the whole message which I want to communicate today is in terms of your career at this point of time. If you're trying to figure out upgrading your career in the field which you are in, try to go for roles through which you are identifying that you are resonating more. If you want to have to go in that particular field, like many people who get into engineering gradually realize, and they become, after programmers, they become managers, and they relish being in management more, although they may be good programmer. Similarly, you might have been knowing some people from IIT, or you might be from other institutes also, world-class institutes. So they struggle so hard, they work so hard, and they finally get into IIT. But after going to IIT, suddenly they realize that this is not what they wanted to do. And then in different aspects in IIT, where there is a lot of other opportunities within IIT, they start flourishing there. So it happens with many students. So even in IITs also. So you may have aptitude. By your hard work and aptitude, you can crack that particular exam. But in due course of time, you will come in terms that the field is not what is your field, because it belongs to the nature of an individual. And at some point of time, the nature will, आप कितना भी suppress करिए, एक समय वो nature निकल के आएगा. And if we will not make a space for it, then it will come out in a wrong way. So in your existing career, or if you are thinking about some getting connected with some kind of future career, tomorrow I'll be sharing many opportunities about it. Then please take care, based on this discussion, what exactly is resonating with you. All right, somebody from Veera here. Strength, power, health, important for somebody. आप में से कोई है जो इस फील्ड में इस पर्टिकुलर क्वालिटी से काफी रिलेश करते हैं? Okay, no one. I have not received any response. Maybe somebody might be there, और शायद आपको थोड़ा और सोचना पड़े इसके बारे में. And then we come to next is Shri. So in general, the word Shri also pronounces, can we tell after listening to every field? Yes, Nandan. Navneet is still thinking. All right. Okay. So stop thinking. Let's complete this and you can share in the next. All right. I'll do the needful share. Fine. So this is about Shri. Splendor, beauty, gracefulness, charismatic leadership, prosperity in general, leadership due to attractive quality rather than due to control and organization abilities, feminine beauty, paint, music, art, landscape, sculpture, architecture, beauty is integral part of prosperous life. So any person, यहाँ पर एक डिस्कशन में करना चाहूंगा, लीडरशिप फिर से आ रहा है. तो हमने जो फर्स्ट वाले में जो ऐश्वर्य में डिस्कस किया था लीडरशिप, देयर द पर्सन इज यूजिंग his tendency, his nature of controlling in power in a positive way, and the organizational aspect of leadership is different. That is one kind of leadership. Another kind of leadership, which is the core of people who are at Shri, is charismatic leadership. These people do not try to control, but they radiate such qualities that people start following them, accepting what they are saying, doing what they are saying. So if a person who is having Shri at the core, this is very important, please give attention. If a person who is having Shri at the core, and if he is a charismatic leader, and if he utilizes his negative aspect, everybody can utilize their nature for positive and negative. We cannot say कि any negative thing is we are having some negative tendency or behavior, तो हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि हमारा nature है. जो अच्छी qualities हैं उसको हम अच्छी qualities ही कहेंगे, जो नहीं है अच्छी वो नहीं है. तो नेचर के नाम को यूज करते हुए हम अपने आप को जस्टिफाई नहीं कर सकते. सो दोज हु आर charismatic leadership, those who have this Shri at their core, and if they go in negative tendency, these are the people जिनको लोग blindly follow करते हैं आंख बंद करके, because उनके करिश्मा से they attract those kind of followers. And later stage when people suffer, then they realize that I was following somebody blindly. So they are actually using their charisma to make people exploit people. The word exploitation is the apt word here. लोगों को exploit करने के लिए वो अपनी charismatic leadership को use करते हैं. And similarly the people who are powerful charismatic leader, जो कि तो उनके core में Shri रहेगा, and they will be using people's submission in a proper way, in channelizing properly. So this is one aspect of people having Shri at their core. Splendor and beauty, anything associated with beauty, सुंदरता या graciousness या feminine beauty से related कुछ भी है, तो उनके core में Shri आएगा. Painting, music, art, landscape, sculpture, architecture, beauty is integral part of all these things. So web designing, let me give you a practical example. Like web designing is somebody person who is having Shri at their heart, or graphic designer. So they are always trying to make the look and feel of their if UX UI, if as a graphics designer, कोई graphics designer है तो वो अपने UX UI को बेहतर improve करने की कोशिश कर रहा है. So that person will be come that person's score will come in Shri. और कोई इंटीरियर डिजाइनर है, आपके घर को बहुत बेहतरीन सुंदर बनाने के लिए वो प्रयास कर रहे हैं, नेचुरली वो कर रहे हैं, करते ही हैं, वो उनका इंटरनल टेंडेंसी वो है. सो दे हैव श्री एट द कोर ऑफ देयर पर्सनालिटी. सो दिस वन इज फोर्थ, एंड वी हैव टू मोर. कैन ऐश्वर्या एंड श्री को एग्जिस्ट एट core because I feel for me both at the times. Yes, it is possible. It is possible, and this is just a discussion. आप जब deep में जाएंगे और इनके बारे में और elaborately समझेंगे तो आपको और पता चलेगा. So we have everything. Like for example, if you consider me in terms of cleanliness, I am very passionate about having cleanliness. So it's like if their things are not clean, then it starts irritating me, and first I have to sort it out. Like right now I am conducting this session. Before starting this session, on my table I just have just couple of things are there. I removed everything. So having beauty in terms of cleanliness is very important for me. So we can have multiple things as our core. We can have multiple things at our core. So fine, let's move ahead. In terms of cleanliness, okay, Chaitanya and Kanishka. Yeah, it has happened with me multiple times when I have I'm absorbed in something, not exactly absorbed, but I'm just thinking about something और काफी accumulation हो गया आजू बाजू, and वो पूरी energy starts causing lot of trouble. So somebody may not have so much of obsession. I have a kind of obsession. Many people may maintain cleanliness according to their understanding and standard of cleanliness, and it may not be equivalent to our understanding. So those who have obsessed about cleaning, they are having this particular Shri at the core. Let's have the fourth one. All right, please write. We have all the participants. Whoever came from the beginning, we have all the participants. So I'm assuming all of you are having interest. You are feeling interest. So just share, give something, how you liked the session till now. Are you receiving some kind of insights? We are able to understand our core. Yes, thoughtful. Thank you. So let me continue. And Yasha, it is about fame, but in 2 points, the first and second, I want to clarify the fame concept. Many people can be famous. Like recently, government banned many of the applications of China. And one of the application, yes, Gaurav, we will discuss this. Karmic or DNA, we will discuss. Just remind me towards the end. So many of them had many number of followers. But many of the people who had lot of fame did not have some merit based on which the fame was derived. Right? And the people, when we are talking about Yash, so that those people will come under the category of Kirti, which is not exactly we are discussing in this, but people may have lot of fame, not exactly derived from doing something wonderful. कुछ सोसाइटी में कुछ जबरदस्त कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है, उससे भी फेम आता है, वो फेम वो नहीं दर्शा रहे हैं, तो वो लोग कीर्ति में आएंगे. बट जब हम यश की बात कर रहे हैं तो मेरिटोरियस फेम, पीपल हु डिराइव फेम बाय डूइंग सम काइंड ऑफ वंडरफुल थिंग फॉर community, for society. I was thinking about this, and the example, one of the example which came in my mind was about the revolution which happened some few years back when Anna Hazare was there. So this is like he derived lot of fame and he was trying to do something good for the society. Overall, I don't want to go into the nitty-gritties, but overall, so such kind of fame, the people who derive such kind of fame, Yasha is the core of their personality, at the core. And fame is only possible when you have a community. So these people are always, you'll see here, they thrive in community. They will have a lot of friends, family, society, virtuously and appreciated in community. They like to be doing virtuous contribution in the society, and they like to be appreciated for their virtual contribution. Sorry, not virtual, but virtuous contribution in the society. And they like to have a community, always having a lot of groups of people. So they'll feel odd. They'll feel odd that many times if somebody is not there, if somebody is not there with them throughout the day, if they end up being alone or single because of some reason, it will become very agitating for them. It will become to quite some extent agitating for them. So they are always looking for surrounding by people, and you might have identified such people. If they are just looking to surrounded, again they will come in the fame category, but they are looking to have a community and having a lot of networks based on some contribution in the society, then they will come in this particular category. This is what I want to communicate clearly, that meritorious fame, the fame has to be derived based on merit, which has to come by some kind of contribution in the world, in the society. So yasha is not at the core of people. Here I have given example of hermits who are not interested. So they go to Himalayas, they don't care, उनको कोई जानता है नहीं जानता है, किसी को उनसे मतलब है ना, उनको किसी से मतलब है ना किसी को उनसे मतलब है. None of us know at this point of time. So many people are there. आपको यदि आइडिया है या आपने सुना है कभी, तो I came to know that बहुत सारे हिमालय में जो भी तप करते हैं hermits, वो जब भी ये हमारे कुंभ वगैरह होते हैं, अर्ध कुंभ या मेन कुंभ, many of them come there, but as soon as the kumbh is over, they again go back to Himalayas. So hermits are not having yasha. What they are having is going to come in the next section. अगले section में बताएंगे कि hermit के लिए क्या specific वो है. So these are the people. Then yasha, project happy, others name. So many people in company, you know, they will do all the work in the project, but if somebody will take away the credit, they are okay with it. चलता है, हमने पूरा काम किया था, आपने क्रेडिट ले लिया, चलता है. So यश is core of their personality. They are okay with it. It's not a problem if somebody else takes credit for that. And similarly, they like, just like they like to be appreciated, they also like to honor others, recognizing others' contribution and appreciate others' contribution in the society. So if you identify somebody जो आप देखते हैं कि वो लोगों को तारीफ करते हैं, उनके contribution को, उनकी दूसरों ने जो भी अच्छा किया है समाज के लिए, उसको recognize करते हैं genuinely, then all those people will also come under the category of yasha. And last one is very amazing. Last one is very amazing. Vairagya. Last is Vairagya. And it is very difficult for most of the people in the society to understand that Vairagya is one kind of prosperity. Vairagya is one kind of prosperity, and there are people who feel richness with having Vairagya at their core. It is very difficult. And why? It is because of these reasons. Boom. So Vairagya means, the rag means attachment, and vai means without. So these are the people who do not have attachment. Strangest, it's not kid, it is the strangest kind of wealth. So this is a very strange kind of wealth, because when we talk about wealth, overall the understanding goes like paisa hona, cheezein hona, having lot of things, lot of money is considered as wealth. But for these people who have Vairagya at their core, for them, not having these things is considered as richness and wealth. So if you have heard about the concept of minimalism, so these people may have lots and lots of money. Even if they have lots and lots of money, their life will be very simple. Their life will be very simple. They may just own a single house, just few pair of clothes, and just some furniture in their house, and even that may not be there, even if they are having lots of money. So these are the people who have the wealth and richness of Vairagya. Freedom is also at their core. Inner state. So they may have detachment within inner state also. So in the spiritual direction also, they may have lot of detachment. Identity separate from labels. So these people, if they are criticized a lot or appreciated a lot, they are more or less balanced, because they do not identify themselves with all these labels. Generally, when appreciation is done, people go to top. Like if somebody comes and appreciate me, उसको बोलते हैं चने के झाड़ पे चढ़ जाना, अंदर से अंदर बहुत ही खुशी होती है, अरे मेरा appreciation हुआ. और जब कुछ criticism हो जाए तो एकदम से down मुरझा जाते हैं. So ये लोग इफेक्ट हो रहे हैं. बट जो जिनका कोर में वैराग्य होता है, आप उनको अप्रिशिएट करिए या आप उनका निरादर अनादर करिए, दे आर ओके विद इट, चलता है. story of a dental surgeon. This is another story which my mentor had shared in her discussion, that she few years back she met a person. So my mentor was having a kind of minimalistic attitude. She was having one backpack and another bag, but she found out a dental surgeon who was also traveling with her, and he was just having a backpack. And it's not that he was going to a particular place. It was like he lives like that. He doesn't have a home. So what he does for his living, he roam around based on his skill, which he has derived as a dental surgeon. He utilizes this skill to help people wherever he roam around and wherever he find people having that trouble. And he moves around with just one backpack. So those people who are having this vairagya at their core, then you will find them you won't find them having lot of things, and it will cause कि कैसे हैं ये लोग, ऐसा कैसे रहते हैं. So it may not be कि, see, not having money and living that kind of lifestyle is something different, and having cash and also still living that kind of lifestyle. So I have observed that what people try is, if you are some affluent person and you are living that kind of lifestyle, then people want you to come and get involved in different kind of activities happening in family, in society and elsewhere. But these people may not have interest. So people find very odd to understand these kind of people, and they even find like a negative kind of feeling ki kaise log hain kind of feeling. Energized by giving other people to downsize and become free. So these people also love to help people so that they can downsize and they can also achieve freedom. Lack of things seems odd. These people do not depend on other people's approval. So if you are someone who doesn't have much to give and take with log aapko approve karte hain ya nahi karte hain, you don't care much about that, then these people come under the category of having vairagya as their core. And so they have to, why we are discussing all these things, the concept is we are discussing ki if you are resonating with something, then you have to have we have to try our best. There will not be any perfect situation. We have to try our best to find out that उस तरह की tendencies को हम अपनी किस particular career में अच्छे से यूज कर सकते हैं. यदि आप कोई एक्स्ट्रा करियर साथ में करना चाहते हैं, तो या आप करियर शिफ्ट करना चाहते हैं और आप जिस करियर में हैं उसी फील्ड में ऊपर बढ़ना चाहते हैं, तो किस पोजीशन के लिए यहां से पोजीशन करें. Thinking about what kind of, for example, somebody may be in a technical thing and then he realizes his personality, he comes to understand what is important for him, and then he go for management thing, or he may go for production thing, or he may go for research in that same company. So it depends upon the progressive journey. But this is how this concept is supposed to help if you are able to identify a little bit deeper about these aspects. There are many people who do not even have home and they travel a lot. Only 1 in 6 kind of wealth not dependent on, okay, this is, just a minute, I have my chat window open, so I'm not able to see this line. Yeah. Interesting, only 1 of the 6 kinds of wealth not dependent on external circumstances. So in this part, this is the only wealth जो कि बाहर के circumstances पर depend नहीं करती है. For example, किसी के core में यदि ऐश्वर्य है, अभी उसको लोग तो चाहिए, तभी तो आप organize करोगे. तो जब तक लोग नहीं होंगे, externally circumstances वैसे नहीं होंगे, तो आपके पास अपने core को utilize करने की opportunity नहीं रहेगी. But in these people, they are not so much dependent on external circumstances. So similarly, people who are having a field of ज्ञान, they have to have that kind of mind, जहां पर उन चीजों को समझने और सोचने के लिए उनका माइंड नेचुरली वैसा फंक्शन करता हो. जो यश चाहते हैं या जिनको यश जिनके कोर में है, they have to have community of people, तभी तो वो meritorious कुछ काम कर पाएंगे जहां से फेम डिराइव होगा. All can be taken away externally in a moment, fame in a moment, health in a moment, very difficult to circumstance take away possible. Right. So ये concept जो इसको derive करता है कि बाकी सारी चीजें एक पल में जा सकती हैं. आज की डेट में जैसे इंटरनेट है, किसी ने कुछ फेम काफी फेमस हो गया, बट एक कुछ इंसिडेंट होगा इंटरनेट पे बूम और आपका पूरा फेम चला जाएगा. उसी तरह से आपकी हेल्थ भी एकदम से चली जा सकती है. वैराग्य भी जा सकता है बट जनरली नहीं जाता है. फॉर मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल vairagya doesn't go. The people who have vairagya at their core, although I'm not saying it is impossible, there are people who lose this also, but in comparison to other qualities जो कि totally circumstantial कह सकते हैं हम जिन qualities को, उनके comparison में vairagya is not so circumstantial. If a person loses everything, whatever he is having, or he receives a lot of things, it won't affect him to that in comparison to the people with other kind of qualities. And so these are the people who are misunderstood by people who do not like it. तो जिनको इस तरह के लोग पसंद नहीं है, उनको इनको गलत समझा जाता है. So if you have somebody in your family or as a friend who is having this particular quality and you are feeling odd कि ये why the person is behaving like this, so there could be some psychological reason, no doubt about it. But if it has been a pattern in that person's life throughout childhood, once the person has started maturing, then this particular thing can be at the core of that person. It is possible like that. So here we come to end exactly in 1 hour. So now what comes next? What comes next is 6 ways to be rich and prosperous. I'll share the screen. 6 ways to be rich and prosperous and their connection with our career. So now what comes is, I'll also be sharing the recording. तो अभी important चीज आती है, कुछ ऐसे questions जो आपको पूछने हैं अपने लिए. I'll just come to questions. When did my career gave me this kind of richness? Out of this 6, whatever you have found out resonating with yourself, just ask this question with yourself कि ये वाली चीज मेरे career में मैंने कब experience करी है, या फिर किस तरह के career में, what kind of career can give me this kind of prosperity. So cash is already there in the background. When we are talking, base हमारे discussion का cash already है. जो हम career की बात कर रहे हैं, तो I am not discussing independent of cash. We are considering cash also. But ये दो aspect कि कब हमने अपने career में वो quality experience की जो हमारे core में हमें महसूस हो रही है, या अभी इस discussion के बाद आपने identify की है, और कौन से ऐसे करियर हो सकते हैं जहां पर मैं इस तरह की प्रॉस्पेरिटी एक्सपीरियंस कर सकता हूं. There is no ideal situation. What we are trying is to come as close as possible to our nature and enriches, or okay, how do I feel when I do not have it? So if something is at your core, you will feel, जब आपके पास वो चीज नहीं होगी तो आपको कैसी फीलिंग्स आती है, और वो चीज आपको एनरिच करेगी, एनर्जाइज करेगी. इट विल गिव यू लॉट ऑफ सेटिस्फैक्शन एंड हैप्पीनेस. सो अनहैप्पीनेस से आप आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं कि क्या ऐसी चीज है जो मैं नहीं मिल पा रही है मुझे, जिसके कारण मैं उतना सेटिस्फाइड नहीं हूं. सो हियर कम्स, मिनिमम समय में जितना भी हम डिस्कस करके इस चीज को आगे ला सकते थे, जितना ज्यादा डिस्कस कर सकते थे, आई ट्राई टू नैरो इट डाउन. दीज आर एक्चुअली the whole training about this concept is more than 6 sessions of 2 to 3 hours which my mentor has gave, and I tried to bring it out in as small as possible so that we can cover up in 1 hour. I hope you are overall clear with the principle. Aishwarya is with regards to leadership, organization, where control, power, these are the prime words for what was next. Gyan is knowledge, wisdom, philosophy. These are the important words for Gyan. Third is what was third? Third is Virya, where strength, power, and health comes. These comes under the category of Virya. Shri is more about grace and beauty, artistry. This is more about Shri. Yasha is about fame, meritorious fame, and Vairagya is about detachment, the freedom aspect, the minimalist aspect. So once I'll share the video, please go through again when I'll share the recording, whenever possible, to identify your closest. And tomorrow I'll be sharing about the opportunities which we can identify in terms of how the future is shaping up. So the session has to get over. I am little bit over time. I'll just discuss some questions. Okay, just a minute. I'll share something. In the chat box, I am also sharing a link. So you can also put your questions in this link also. All right. Sir, I think I don't lie in any 6 category, or I may be a mix up of all these categories. I am confused. Yeah, it's natural. So congratulations. If you are confused, you are thoughtful. You are thinking about it. That's why the confusion is coming. And it is difficult to comprehend. इस पूरी चीज को comprehend करना एक बार में difficult है, क्योंकि शायद इतना हमारे को evaluate अपने आप के बारे में सोचने के लिए हमारी इतनी practice ही नहीं हुई है कि this is all is supposed to start from beginning. Mind you, जब when we are growing up in initial age, parents, relatives, our grandparents, our teachers, all these people are supposed to observe. Like many children are criticized, they have a tendency that they will sit at one place and they'll just keep on focusing. कुछ एक काम कर रहे हैं उसी में फोकस रहते हैं. So their parents or many people criticize them, घुलते मिलते क्यों नहीं हो दूसरों से, बात क्यों नहीं करते हो. So it is not some kind of psychological problem with that person. It is that person's nature that he likes to he has a nature of being focused on something. There are people who have a nature of constantly instructing everyone. So they will keep on going और हर किसी को बताएंगे कि आपको क्या करना चाहिए with regards to something. So these are the people who are displaying the tendency of teaching, instructing. They are instructing. So this is all exercise has to be done from the childhood, which probably no one did, and probably no one did because nobody did for them also. So it will take time. It is confusing. You can go through the video again and you can again discuss with me. Oh, फिर से हम डिस्कस कर सकते हैं, थोड़ा सा समय लगेगा इनको समझने में. Can we do any exercises to feel us what core principle we actually belong to? Yeah, this is the exercise. This is what you have to do. I've shared the core thing, like for Ashwarya, like organization, leadership and all. So I have shared the core thing for all. Now you have to find out कि आपके career में ऐसा कौन सा चीज़ है जो आप चाहते हो. See, simple. Just sit down and find out what exactly I love. Not in terms of people or animals or gratitude वाली feeling कि I'm grateful that I have this. I'm grateful that I'm able to wake up every morning. I'm grateful that I'm able to breathe. I'm not talking about those things. Something which you just love, just like I shared about the knowledge aspect, that I just love to listen to people to become more mature so that I can help in my self-improvement and in helping others, both ways. So like this, you have to do this exercise to find out कि आपको किस चीज में उतना इंटरेस्ट है. और इसके लिए सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट एक्सरसाइज है, थोड़ा सा पास्ट में जाइए और ऑब्जर्व करिए कि आप कैसी टेंडेंसीज रेडिएट करते थे. And yeah, okay, one more exercise is there. I'll share one more exercise. Just remind me towards the end, I'll share. Can we do any exercises? Okay. I use Ashwarya and Yasha as core skills to help me to thrive for Gyan and Vairagya, which I find more aligned as inner core, and Veera as hardly existing in core comes hurdle. So is it holistic outlet required, or choosing one as a deep core will help to sort out as balanced personality? No. Like whatever you have written, Gaurav, is perfectly okay. आपको सिर्फ ये देखना है, इस पूरे एक्सरसाइज का, इस पूरे कॉन्सेप्ट का डिस्कस करने का पर्पस ये है कि आपको बस ये आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि जिन चीजों के साथ आप रेजोनेट कर रहे हो, वो ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने अब भी रेजोनेट करना शुरू किया है. उसी तरह की कुछ टेंडेंसीज होगी जिसको आप थोड़ा सा पास्ट में ले जाके देख सकते हो कि आपने वैसा रेजोनेंस आपका रहा होगा एक समय से. सो उस तरह के करियर के साथ बस अलाइन करना है, सो दैट वी हैव टू अर्न मनी, बट if we have the alignment, we can do that thing throughout the remaining part of our life. Otherwise, at some point of time, the break point will come. तो बाकी सारी qualities को आप use कर सकते हो, और ये सारी tendencies सबके अंदर होती. All of us have all the tendencies, but having space for particular tendency may be very important and crucial for somebody, and it may be okay for somebody even if that thing is there or not. Do Yasha means selfless help or meaningful contribution? It can be both. It can be both. Selfless also, and it can be meaningful contribution also. Do Vairagya at core thrive want to be a spiritual master or philanthropist? Clarify. Not necessarily. This spirituality is quite different. People with Vairagya, they have a positive attribute which can be utilized in spirituality, but all individuals have the ability to be spiritual. They will have to utilize their tendencies in a spiritual way. That is known as spiritualizing your career. And career spiritualization has 8 aspects in total. Someday I'll try to communicate that also. It has total 8 aspects, and aligning personality with income, source of living or source of livelihood is one of the aspects. To spiritualize your career, there are 7 more aspects. One of them is like our career has to be, as much as possible, it has to be by some honest means. One of the concept is we have to offer a kind of charity. So if your personality is aligned and you are getting a lot of money and personality is aligned, still if there is some kind of dissatisfaction or unhappiness, there is very strong possibility that charity aspect may be missing, or you may not be deriving some meaning from that. कि आपका nature भी अच्छा है, but आप कुछ गहरा meaning उससे नहीं निकाल पा रहे. So there are 8 other aspects. So it is not necessary that only they have this some kind of edge, the people who have vairagya. In fact, many people who have vairagya may be it becomes difficult for them to understand spirituality because they become proud of their renunciation. It is often a case. It need not necessarily be like that, but it is often a case. Right. So Nandan, you can have an exercise. You want to have an exercise? The exercise goes like this. Please remember, find out 5 people. Find out 5 people जिनके साथ आप क्लोज रिलेशनशिप शेयर करते हो, जो आपको जज नहीं करते हैं, आप जैसे हो आपको वैसे एक्सेप्ट करते हैं और आपके साथ जेन्युइन रहते हैं, आपके पीछे बैक बाइटिंग नहीं करते हैं. आई मीन ओवरऑल यू डू नॉट हैव एनी नेगेटिव फीलिंग विद देम. जस्ट फाइंड आउट 5 such people. It can be one, like your parents can be there if you share that kind of relationship with your parents. Your siblings can be there. Then your core friend, somebody who is very close friend of yours. Then somebody can be a teacher जिन्होंने आपको स्कूल या कॉलेज में पढ़ाया है. एंड देन somebody can be a random person जिसके साथ आज की डेट में आपकी फ्रेंडशिप है, या कोई सुपीरियर है जिसके साथ आप रिलेशनशिप आपका अच्छा है. ऐसे 5 to 6 people आप फाइंड आउट करिए और एक मैसेज फ्रेम करिए और उस मैसेज में लिखिए. what you have to write in that message I'll explain. Write a message to them that dear so and so, I am going through an exercise where I am trying to find out what exactly is my personality about. So I want you to express to me based on your experience and observation with me that what good qualities you have observed in me. What kind of good qualities or what kind of talents you have observed in me. What am I good at based on your perception. ऐसा आप उन लोगों को मैसेज लिखिए and let's wait for their responses and let us see, because we, since our nature is natural to us, we act through our nature. हमको पता नहीं होता है कि हम ऐसा एक्ट कर रहे हैं, बट बाहर से लोगों को सब दिखता है. People may not be able to speak to you, और ऐसा डिस्कशन शायद नहीं हुआ होगा, बट लोगों को काफी ऑब्जर्वेशंस रहते हैं हमारे बारे में. So just do this exercise and you will be astonished to find out, you may be able to find out some quality of yours which even you may not be knowing. That's why these relationship has to be little bit longer. 2 से 3 साल, 4 साल, 5 साल, उससे ज्यादा. 6 months, 1 year, I don't know how close such relationships are to actually, they can help. 6 to 1 year, they can give some direction. They can give some direction, but we have to be connected with them for continuously in that particular duration also. So this exercise will help. This exercise will help you a lot to come to know this, कि लोगों को आपकी कितनी सारी अच्छी क्वालिटीज के बारे में पता है जो शायद आपको नहीं पता होगा, और ये सारी क्वालिटीज आप काफी समय से रेडिएट कर रहे होंगे, जिनके कनेक्शन, लाइक ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट मैंने यहाँ पे कहा है, जिससे कनेक्टेड आपको करियर्स के अपॉर्चुनिटीज होंगे, बट आपने कभी सोचा नहीं होगा. क्योंकि ये सारी एक्सरसाइजेस जिस फेज में होनी चाहिए वो है स्कूलिंग फेज. बचपन में ऑब्जर्वेशन 10 to 15 में हमारे साथ ये एक्टिविटीज की जानी चाहिए व्हेन वी आर इन क्लास 7, 8, 9, 10. बाय द टाइम समबडी इज 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, बाय दैट टाइम इट इज ऑलरेडी क्लियर दैट क्या बेस्ट रहेगा इस पर्सन के लिए. सो दिस फॉर्म इज ऑल्सो देयर. आई अगेन जस्ट sorry, why it is going there. This is the link. I'll share the link again for any further queries you have. Okay, because of some reason it's not going. Yes, Kanishka, it's very good technique and you will be surprised. Ask your mother, father, your teacher, some relative, some friend and somebody just unknown. Just ask some random person जो आपकी सोसाइटी या कहीं पर रहता है, क्योंकि उनके पास बहुत अच्छी ऑब्जर्वेशन होगी. आपने कभी कम्युनिटी या आप किसी शॉप पर जाते हो, लगातार जा रहे हो, सालों से जा रहे हो किसी शॉप से और बात कर रहे हो, तो उन सब के आपके बारे में माइंड में कुछ आपकी इमेज बनी हुई होती है और उन्होंने कुछ ऑब्जर्व किया होता है जो शायद हमको एक काफी डीप इंसाइट मिले. So that's it. This is all I have for today. And tomorrow I'll be sharing about how to identify future career opportunities. I'm following the schedule which we had from initial. जो yesterday we discussed about 2 secrets for futuristic career, उसी पर core principle पे based पहली चीज हमने discuss की आज की personality alignment. This is one of the models within my coaching system. I have 10 ways to find out the personality. This is 11th, an extra model which I learned to identify the personality of individuals. And tomorrow we'll be discussing about the society needs of the society which is manifesting at this point of time, of which schools and colleges students are absolutely not aware. I won't say absolute is the right word, कि उनको बिल्कुल ही नहीं पता है. 99% they are not aware. So thank you very much for attending today's session. I'll just wait for one more minute. I'm already over time, 9:14. I'll just wait for one more minute if you have something you want to discuss. Thank you, Chaitanya. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Nandan. Welcome, welcome. So we have some more members. I just want to ask other members if I am able to contribute some value. At least I'm expecting you may be a bit hesitant to share your experience, and it could be because we may not be familiar, but since you have stayed till the end of the session, I am confident that you are appreciating something. So just do not feel reluctant or hesitant about anything. In case if you don't want to message here, you can message me personally, and also here also you can send message in a private manner. Yeah, everyone, those who want to leave, you can leave. I'll just finish off in 1 minute. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so it's 9:15 and thank you very much. Hope to see you all tomorrow. This video will be available as a recording. So if you find time, you want to go more deep, which you should be going, you can go more deep inside it. All right. Do money comes from like-minded people in search having same core? Do money comes from like-minded people in search? Thank you, Dr. Mohan. Thank you. I was expecting some reply because you were there in the whole session. Thank you so much. Do money comes from like-minded people in search having same core? I'm sorry, Gaurav. We'll discuss on personally on personal chat. I'm not able to understand. All right, let's connect personally. Anyone has any query, I am available. If you are in that WhatsApp group, my number will be available, so we can connect personally. Thank you so much for joining, and do come tomorrow. All right. Bye bye.